Welcome to Healing Starts From Within with Dr. Shauna. Join me as we explore ways to improve our physical, mental, and spiritual health by healing from the inside out. Welcome back to the second video in my Sugar and Sweeteners, The Bittersweet Truth series. I'm Dr. Shauna, and today we're going to talk about stevia. Stevia is a natural sweetener because it does come from the stevia plant. However, not all stevias are made the same. So today we're going to talk about stevia, the good, bad, and ugly. Stevia comes from South America, from the stevia plant. And the most common stevia plant that they use is called Stevia rabiana. And that plant contains two compounds that give it its sweetness. The first one is called stevioside, and it actually is a sweet compound that then has a bitter aftertaste. And if you hear people complain about stevia, it's normally the bitter aftertaste with some of the forms of stevia that are out there that turn people off. Now, the second compound is a word that is way too long and it's hard for me to say. I'm probably going to butcher it, but we're going to try. It's called rhabdioside, also known as Reb A. So because I don't want to embarrass myself and completely butcher the name, we're going to call it Reb A for short. The Reb A compound in stevia is the one that's normally isolated and used in most stevia that we see out there that you buy at the store, that you can buy online. And the reason why that one is the most common compound isolated to use in the stevia sweetener is because it does not have the bitter aftertaste. It's actually the sweetest compound found in the stevia plant. The problem is when we isolate things out of a plant, a specific compound, there obviously is an extraction process. And it's how that process is done is what causes the problems with some of the types of stevia that you'll find out there. There are three main categories of stevia that are found out there. The first category is green leaf stevia. And basically it is what it says it is. It's the green leaves of the stevia plant that are dried and then ground into a powder. So it's green leaf powder from the stevia plant. Now, it's not as sweet as some other forms, other categories of the stevia. It's only about 30 to 40 times sweeter than sugar. The second category of stevia would be the stevia extract, and that is where they isolate the Reb A, and you get the very sweet form. It's highly concentrated, and it's about 200 to 300 times sweeter than sugar. Now keep in mind, like I just said before, this version can be highly processed depending on how the company or whoever's making the stevia sweetener is isolating the Reb A from the stevia plant. The third category of stevia is the overly processed version, better known as Truvia, that we see in the store. Now, I'm probably going to get a lot of people looking at me like, I use Truvia all the time. I love it. What are you talking about, Dr. Shauna? What's wrong with it? Well, the reason why Truvia is a problem is because it goes through a 42-step process to then create the Truvia. And the end result actually only has 1% stevia in it. Now, Truvia, going through the 42-step process, having these chemical solvents used, has another reason why I'm not a big fan, and that's because they use erythritol. Now, erythritol is not always bad. We're not going to go deep into that now because I got a video just for erythritol, but most erythritol is derived from GMO corn. If you know me or have heard anything about me, I'm not a fan of GMO. Anything made in a lab to me is not natural, it's not in nature, and it's probably not something we should put in our body. So the fact that they use the GMO erythritol in the Truvia is just reason number two why I really am not a fan. It's way overly processed, and it's just not going to be your best option. Now that we know what stevia is, let's talk about what brands and what types of stevia are available and which ones are going to be good, better, and best. I'm going to talk about four main brands. The first would be Sweet Leaf Stevia, then Pure Stevia, spelled P-Y-U-R-E, Trim Healthy Mama brand stevias, and Stevia in the Raw. To me, those are the four most common that I hear people using or that I see in the store. So let's start with the worst, work from the bottom, and build our way up. So the first, obviously we talked about it already. You know my feelings about Stevia, but then also it would be the stevia in the raw. Now my problem with stevia in the raw is it is a very highly processed stevia and contains maltodextrin. Now if you saw the first video in this series, I talked a little bit about maltodextrin, and it is derived from GMO corn, which a lot of things are. It's used as a cheap filler. It's highly processed, so then we're going to have all this added extra chemical things put in. And maltodextrin is known in a lot of people to stall or prohibit weight loss. Why are we using stevia? Most people are using stevia because they want an alternative that's not going to cause them to gain weight and they can still get those sweet tastes in their favorite treats. The next best option up from Stevia and stevia in the raw would be what I use for now, and that is the Pure brand stevia that you find in Walmart. And remember I said that's Pure spelled P-Y-U-R-E. It comes in a white and purple containers. I use the baking blend and then also the stevia extract powder. Now both of the kinds I use are organic. So the stevia blend does contain erythritol. However, it is not the GMO erythritol because it's organic, and to be organic, it can't come from any GMO ingredients. So it is the better form of erythritol if you're going to use erythritol, and that keeps that on that even line of a good stevia to use. However, what I do not like about the baking blend with Pure is it does contain in the ingredients what we call natural flavors. Okay, now you see me putting the quotations up for natural because I'm using that term very loosely, because you hear the word natural and you think, oh, it has to be healthy, it's natural, it comes from nature, it's not made in a lab. Wrong. The only thing natural about natural flavors is that it's actually derived from things that are grown in nature. The process to get those natural flavors though is chemical, done in a lab. So ultimately, natural flavors are not much better than artificial flavors. The organic stevia extract powder with Pure that I use, it does contain only the Reb A isolated compound from stevia. However, how they are isolating and extracting that out of the stevia plant is unknown to me. I've done Google searches, I've gone on their website, and I can't find it. Now, I probably could email the company. However, I feel like if I have to email you and you're not just, willingly giving me this information, it's probably because you don't want me to know. So I'm going to err on the side of caution and say it's probably not a good process, probably not going to be happy with it. Sometimes it's better that you not know. And that is another reason why I'm saying this is the brand that I'm using for now. So another option for extract powder for the stevia, and it's organic, would be the Trim Healthy Mama brand. And the reason why I like that brand is because they let everybody know, it's very well known, it's advertised, the extraction process for getting the Reb A from the stevia is a water extraction process. So water, no chemical solvents, no chlorine, no anything. So I trust that process, and that is going to be the one I'm going to slowly switch over to. The sweet leaf extract powder is also going to be a good option because they do also have a pure extraction process that is a water extraction, and it's just everybody has done reviews on it. They really say that is one of the top of the line extract powders to use for the stevia because they trust the process of how they're getting the Reb A out of the stevia plant. So I'm sure you're all sitting there saying, Dr. Shauna, why, if these are the best options of the stevia extract powder, are you not using them? And why is it only for now that you're using the Pure brand? Well, I'll have to admit, sadly, pure laziness. And the reason why, it's just more convenient for me at this point to get the Pure because it's at Walmart. I drive the store and I get it. The other ones you have to order online. I found the stevia, the sweet leaf stevia extract powder on Amazon for $8.99. It's for a 0.9 ounce bottle. Now I know that sounds like not much, but with the stevia extract powder, a little goes a long, long way. You need the tiniest little pinch to sweeten things. Otherwise, it's way too sweet. And the Trim Healthy Mama brand, you also have to order online from their website, trimhealthymama.com, and it is $10.99 for a 1 ounce bottle of the extract powder. So both of those are about the same price. They are about $2 to $3 more than the brand that I get the Pure at Walmart. As far as a better option for the baking blend that I use with Pure, it would also go to the Trim Healthy Mama brand, and it's their stevia blend that's called Super Sweet. Now, just what the name says, it is super sweet. So again, a little goes a long way. A lot of times it says half a cup of the super sweet or the Pure baking blend to 1 cup of sugar, but I found that's entirely too sweet for me, so I probably do 1/3 of a cup to 1 cup of sugar. So, and it is $9.99 for a 16-ounce bag on Amazon or on the Trim Healthy Mama website, and that's about $3 more than what I'm paying for the same bag at Walmart. Now, as with everything, you still want to be careful and read your labels. Some things you want to look at are fillers such as inulin, the GMO erythritol, and maltodextrin. Now, also know you're going to have to give yourself some grace. You're not always going to be perfect. You may forget to read the ingredients because you've got 3 kids hanging on you, hollering, they want this, they want that, and you're like, what is it I was supposed to get? And you grab something, you get home and you look at the ingredients and you're like, oh, that's not what I needed. Don't worry about it. A bad stevia is still going to be better than refined processed white sugar. There are stevia liquids out there and they're good. You just got to be careful because some of those will contain 11% alcohol, and that's just because they're using alcohol for the extraction process to make the stevia liquid from the plants. If you don't want to have the alcohol in there, you'll have to be very careful and read your labels to see that they're using like an organic vegetable glycerin or even water to extract it and make the stevia liquid. Now, be careful also, these will have fillers such as the inulin fibers and possibly maltodextrin and erythritol. Now, the best way to get a stevia liquid is to make your own. So I'm going to include a recipe for what I found the best way to use water and or the vegetable glycerin to extract the stevia extract out of the plant and getting it into the liquid, and I'm going to put it below in the description. Thanks for joining me in my second video of Sugar and Sweeteners, the Bittersweet Truth. And I hope you learned something, enjoyed the video, and let me know what you liked best and if you have any questions. As always, I'm Dr. Shauna, and remember, healing starts from within.